Okay, I guess we're doing this again because my iPad literally just died as I was saving this, the last take. So I'll just speed run this right now. Okay, what are cells? Okay, we're on cells and organelles. What are cells? Cells are like the basic unit of like basic structural organization unit for life. And yeah, how were cells first discovered? Well, Leeuwenhoek used advanced microscope lens to discover them, and then he named them cells after like little rooms, like jail cells. Then it used microscopes, and then there's Hooke, who was like the first one to observe it. He observed like plant cells or bark cells or something like that, and then like that's how he discovered it using a microscope. Three tenets of cell theory. So first one is that all cells come from other cells. Second one is that all cells wait, bro, I don't even remember this, bro. Wait, how I already forget about this, bro. Three tenets of cell theory. All cells come from other cells. The first one is cells are the simplest unit of life. The second one is I think cells are the most basic, bro. I don't even, bro. This is so annoying, bro. I really don't want to do this shit again, bro. Okay, wait, what was I saying? So the three bit tenets: organisms are all composed of one or more cells. All cells come from one another, and cell is the basic unit. Okay, what are the four new tenets? Four new tenets is like all of the energy, like the total activity of a cell, like of an organism, like all of the activity of an organism is just the total, like the sum of all the activity of the individual cells. The next one is all cells contain their genetic information. Third one is cells of similar species, I'm pretty sure they contain similar chemical composition. And then energy flow occurs within cells. Characteristics of all cells: they all contain ribosomes, they all contain a cell membrane, and they all contain genetic information. Two major cell types was the main difference: prokaryotes, eukaryotes. Prokaryotic cells, they do not have membrane-bound nucleus or organelles. Eukaryotes, they do. Four main functions of the cell membrane. Well, I think it was only one. I remember when I was reviewing this last time, I struggled with that. Main function of cell membrane is like separate it from the outside and inside, like protection, kind of like just separation. Like I don't know what else to say, bro. Like there's nothing protects cell from its environment. Yeah, okay. Cell membrane is made up of what? Well, first there's sterols, which are plant cells. Then there's cholesterol, which is in animal cells. There's the freaking membrane proteins, and then there's the phospholipids, which kind of like like make up the actual layer. Bilayer meaning, so phospholipids, they are amphiprotic. Wait, no, not they're amphiladic or something, right? So they got the polar side and the polar head, and then the non-polar lipid tail. So it's like they arrange normally, right? Like the hydrophobic like non-polar tail will arrange with the other hydrophobic non-polar tail, while the hydrophilic phosphate head will align to the water, cytoplasm, etc. Bilayer meaning, yeah, it's just like they're stacked on each other. What two factors? Charge and polarity. How do they affect it? So if you got a big molecule, right, it's gonna be hard to put it in through the membrane because like it's not gonna fit. So you got to use something to help transport it. That's like glucose. Then there's charge, right? If you got like a charged molecule going to the charged, like the polar, like if the molecule that we're trying to push through is polar, right? But the phosphate head's polar, then they're gonna like not want to go to each other, so it's not good. Yeah. Biological term for the cell membrane, fluid mosaic model. Fluid because it's like everything's flip-flopping around, just moving around, and then mosaic, there's like a lot of different components to it. 11 organelles to know. Let's go, bro. Nucleus, Golgi apparatus, rough ER, smooth ER, lysosome, peroxisome, mitochondria, chloroplast, vacuole, centriole, cytoplasm. Okay, that's 11. What does the nucleus contain? It contains genetic information, and it contains the nuclear envelope along with the nuclear lamina and nucleolus. What function takes place? I think it's rRNA synthesis. Like RNA synthesis, that's where it happens. RNA size for prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So prokaryotes, ribosome, the small subunit will be 30, large one will be 50, total will be 70. Eukaryotes will be 60-40, and total will be 80. Yeah. How is DNA stored? So, there's chromosomes, which is like the dense version of it, and that's used for like one cell reproduction. Chromatids, just like the normal delivery, just how they normally are. Then there's histone proteins, which are where DNA will wrap around those histone proteins and form nucleosomes. Difference between cytosol and cytoplasm. Cytosol, I need some water. Cytosol is just like the gel-like substance in the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm contains everything except the nucleus. Function plus composition of ribosomes. Where can they be found? What's special about them? Ribosomes, they got two subunits, small and large. Like I said, they're responsible for protein translation, so they make protein synthesis. Basically, like they connect them all together, the amino acids. Where can they be bound to? Well, they can be bound to the rough ER. What is special about that one? The rough ER will make the proteins, the smooth ER will just do something else. Water assist, wait, no, not smooth ER. Okay, like rough ER, they can be in the cytoplasm or they can be bound to the rough ER. Water cisternae, I think they're just flattened sacks of membrane. That's what I remember when I searched it up last time. ER consistent with what and what are the two types and differences? So there's smooth ER and rough ER. The ER is consistent with the nuclear envelope, like the nuclear membrane. Smooth ER, that's used for like lipid synthesis and fat synthesis, I think.